questions than answers for a family of a 26-year-old mother stabbed to death in LaGrange. The expectant mother found dead by a police officer on patrol on Fort Drive near the campus of West Georgia Technical College. News at 9's Catrice Nolan joins us live now from that area where the body was discovered. And Catrice, I know you spoke with family members about her death today. Tell us more about what they said.
Barbara, that's right, I did. The death of 26-year-old Breanna Burgess is still puzzling to her mother, Pamela Smith. Now, stricken with grief, the mother did tell me she didn't know the relationship Breanna may have had with the two people who were arrested, but she did say her daughter didn't deserve the way she died. Family and friends are gathering at the family home of Breanna Burgess as word of her tragic death circulates within the small community in LaGrange. Her mother says she doesn't know how she is going to get over the way her daughter was killed.
She died in the car, and then they just dropped her off over there on Fort Drive. How could you? And then I heard they stabbed my baby in the stomach 7 times. That's over. I don't know, how could you do that? You could be a monster. How could you just do that, kill a baby and her like that, and just leave them like no remorse?
The mother of 3 was expecting a baby girl. Now 2 people, Cortez Avery and Shalandra Freeman, are behind bars facing murder and feticide charges in the case. Smith says she doesn't know how Breanna may have known the duo.
I really don't know. I can't talk on that. I don't know. I just know they said it was a setup.
Police say the alleged killers and Breanna have known each other for years, but the nature of that relationship is unclear, as well as the motive behind her death. Police say an officer patrolling the area found her remains. Her family says Breanna wasn't perfect, but she didn't deserve to die the way she did.
So Breanna chose to live the way she lived, and she was a grown woman, and we helped her.
Her family says Breanna was full of life and would have given her all to provide for her children. They say it may have cost her her life.
He would express how vulnerable she was on her Facebook, how she needed help, and I think people saw their chance and they went with it.
The family says creating a tragedy for her 3 children to remember.
How could you leave a person on the side of the road and just keep stabbing them and leave them for dead?
Certainly unfortunate for that family of Breanna Burgess. Now, we spoke with officers who still say that this is a very active investigation. They urge anyone out there who might have any information to make sure you contact the LaGrange Police Department. Now, the family also tells me they are planning a prayer vigil here along Fort Drive set for tomorrow at 7:30. They're urging the public to come out to honor Breanna Burgess. For now, reporting in LaGrange, Catrice Nolan, WTVM News Leader 9.
Certainly your heart goes out to everybody who loved her. All right, Catrice, much more to come on this story. We'll continue to follow it. Thank you very much. The family has started a GoFundMe account to help cover funeral expenses. We're going to have a link to that account on our website, WTVM.com.
Today is Friday, July 29th, the year is 2022. So you have to wonder, what type of person was stabbed to death? A pregnant woman, stabbed her in her stomach 7 times in an attempt to kill her and that baby. So obviously, the woman that woman, maybe she was pregnant by him. You know, they arrested 2 people. Did they know each other? Was she possibly? This is the thing that this woman was, I think, 23, and this was her 4th child. I was like, wow. I mean, I guess that happens, but she still. You have to wonder what goes on in people's heads that they would go out and shoot. I mean, stabs a pregnant woman to death, kidnap her. What was going on between them that it required her to die? You know, it's kind of like, what is going on here? But obviously, these monsters felt that this woman had to die for her actions. Could have been drug related. But for the fact that he stabbed her in her stomach 7 times leads me to believe 2 things. Either that man had been dating her, and maybe she got pregnant by another man, and he was jealous and envious of that. That could have been the case. Maybe that was the issue. Or maybe she was pregnant by him, and she didn't get an abortion or something, or, you know, or who knows? Could be going on in these ignorant motherfuckers' minds. She had 3 kids. I think she was 23, and this would have been her 4th. Do you run around these streets? And this is the crazy part. This is out in LaGrange, which is kind of out in the exurbs, or out in the country area. That's not really a city in Atlanta. LaGrange is kind of out there. But there's a lot of stuff that happens in LaGrange and Noonan and Spalding County. Them niggas run wild out there inside the town. I mean, out in the country. They really do act a fool. I sometimes watch the news and I see the stuff that happens way out in those areas. I think, damn, them niggas crazy out there too. It's kind of a statewide event. I mean, it's kind of like where they at. I mean, there's a lot of poverty in these areas too. A lot of poverty. A lot of issues. And you just have to wonder what enters into a person's mind. I'm going to pick up a knife and kill this woman, stabbing her several times in her belly. Then they arrested 2 people. They made an arrest. So I'm gonna post a video that shows a picture of the 2 people they arrested. Them streets are just not safe out there. You know, y'all want to run them streets and run around with these crazy people and run around and be about that life. Hey, sometimes don't end well. That's why I be sitting my ass at home watching TV, having a coffee. I look back over my life over the years in my early 20s and how I ran around with some really dangerous people. And I think, what the fuck was I thinking? God, I mean, it could have really ended really, really bad because them niggas were fucking crazy. And I knew they were crazy, and I'm just sitting on the couch staring at their asses, knowing what I know. And I knew it was wrong, and I knew I shouldn't be around. And by the time I turned 20, I started breaking away from them. I met them niggas when I was 19, but by the time I got to 22, 23, I started distancing myself from them. By about 22, I said, no, I can't be around these niggas because they were doing all kinds of crazy shit. And I said, okay, enough of this. Thank God I woke up. And all them niggas dead and served their own stints in prison. It was just insane. I mean, people just do crazy shit and you don't even know why they do it. A lot of times there were a lot of drugs involved. I wasn't doing drugs. Why the hell was I around people using drugs like that? You know, now I know. Let me tell y'all something. You want to get rid of me and not be in my presence? Do some cocaine, meth, coke, weed, all that shit. I say, okay, I'm out. I've learned I don't want to be around you if you're an alcoholic or a drug user or you just about that life. You like to fight and act a fool and turn shit. I don't even. We can go to a restaurant together. You can complain too much. We won't be ever going back to a restaurant again. I just like a normal life. Without all this drama and confusion, death and mayhem. These niggas crazy out here. And I've been around crazy niggas. I'm sure you all have too. So we can't just sit there and say, huh, white folks do it too. Not to this extent. Well, I'm sure some white folks do live like this too. She was white. But she's the victim, obviously, in this case. But one thing that stood out to me, they said she chose to live her life this way. And I'm thinking, what did she choose to do? What was she doing out there? Was she selling drugs? Was she around drug dealers? Some people like that environment. Some people like being around that drug dealer. I actually had a girlfriend of mine years and years ago. She said she only dated drug dealing guys who was drug. She didn't like nobody working that fast. She liked drug dealing. I'm like, wow. She said, they always have money and we can do stuff and they always got money and I can do it. I'm thinking, child, you are putting your life in danger dealing with this drug dealing fool. Anytime you got to be with a man and everywhere he go, he got a gun on him. 2 or 3 of them. Y'all driving down the street. You are at risk to be involved in a lot of mayhem. What's a Gucci purse? She was in love with Louis Vuitton or Gucci. I don't know what it was, but she was just, she said, I like dealing with drug dealers. I'm thinking, what an idiot. I'm not about to ride around no car with nobody with a bunch of drugs on them. They get pulled over, we off to jail now. What the fuck is that all about? Dude, but some people are about that life. And that stood out to me in this video when her sister said, she chose to live this lifestyle. And I wanted to say, what lifestyle was she living? A dangerous one, obviously. You better be careful of the people you bring into your inner circle. I don't give a fuck. Do I have friends who do all kinds of shit? Hell yeah. Or associates, for that matter. But at this stage in my life, there's certain people I don't want around me. In fact, there was an associate that came by my house a few months back, and he had got shot. And I had heard about this. He actually was an associate of an associate. And he had come by, they had stopped by. And I was trying to figure out how he got shot. And he was telling me he was fighting with the guy at the club. And he was fighting with security at the club, and the security turned around and shot his ass. And he was suing the club. And I said, what were you fighting for? Man, I was high, I was on drugs and stuff. So I like doing drugs. I'm thinking, okay, you ain't going around here no more. You know, anybody sitting around telling us they love doing meth and coke and all this stuff, love doing it. I love it. But you love doing it, but you run around acting a damn fool. Now, if you were doing it in the comfort of your home and you're not harming nobody and nobody got to shoot your black ass, then that's different. But back to this woman who was pregnant, stabbed to death by these monsters. Now those children are left. I mean, it's just a lot of sad stories out there. A lot. Now it kind of stood. I was even going to do a video about this, but it kind of stood out to me when I looked at the pictures and I saw the kids. Those kids are old enough to know their mom was deceased and how she died. You know, now they got to grow up in an environment without a mother, which has got to be very hard. Luckily, I had my mother and father in my life until I was an adult. My mom's still alive now, but to know that your mother was stabbed to death. And so you have to wonder what goes to these kids' heads, you know. A violent death like that, nobody knows the reason why it happened. I'm sure the police probably got an idea. They do that DNA test on that baby. But I'm willing to bet that nigga, the guy that was in that was arrested, was probably dating this chick. Or having some type of relationship with her. And he found out she was pregnant either by another man or by him. I don't think he was the issue. I think maybe she got pregnant by somebody else. And when she told him, when he found out who she was pregnant by, he probably just went ballistic. I've seen this shit happen. I remember a few over years and years ago, I had a girlfriend. I used to have a lot of female friends. She was married to a guy. And she got pregnant by his best friend. And I remember this shit. I was like, wait a minute. And I was and they were going through a divorce at that time, when she ended up getting pregnant by her soon-to-be ex-husband's best friend. Now, you all know all hell broke loose when it was discovered that that's who she was pregnant by, was this man. And she let it be known, hey, I'm pregnant by him. She's like, she purposely did this. I could be wrong, but in my mind, everybody else's mind, everybody said that this girl did this on purpose when I got pregnant to spite him. And y'all know all hell broke loose with that crazy nigga. So that's when I realized some of these women ain't got it right upstairs. At all the niggas running around America, you choose to get pregnant, have a sexual relationship with your soon-to-be ex-husband's best friend. They were best friends for years. And then you proudly tell everybody this is what has taken place. Well, I have a sneaky suspicion something similar to this may have happened in this incident. The fact that he stabbed her in her stomach 7 times is like he was trying to kill that unborn baby. He was, whoever did the stabbing, because 2 people were arrested, a man arrested and a woman was arrested. Who did the stabbing? They arrested both of them, though. So that should tell you something. I guess that's the case winds through the court system. These some crazy folks out there. Y'all better be careful who y'all dealing with out here. I mean, be very, very careful. On a side note, I bought a fan. I finally found a whisper quiet fan. I have a fan I bought from Amazon called Pelonis, Pelonis. It's a fan, and it's so quiet. I have it on here now. I've been having, every time I get extremely warm. Speaking of such, I need to turn the air conditioner on. It's gonna be another hot day in Georgia. I just got my electrical bill. Last month it was $700. This month it was $675. So we went down $25. It's like, okay, Lord have mercy. We went down $25. But it's hot out here. Shit, ain't nothing I can do about it. Everybody's electrical bills are high. If you think you're gonna sit up in these houses out there on the devil is a lie, I tried that for a couple of days. I said, we turn that air down. Shit, that didn't work. Very last. Why is this fourth floor so? I don't know what that's all about. This fourth floor attic is too low. I don't even know why I had that thing sitting like that. Now there's an app on my phone where I can control the you can go straight to the app and turn on there. You might notice the attic was set very low. I don't know why it was set that damn low. Turn that shit down. Ain't nobody up there. The house is 4 levels, so what the fuck I was thinking. But a lot of people don't understand the attic had to be finished because it was a box of hot air up there that was having an impact on the lower levels, the bathroom. So we had to finish that space out. And it took a couple of months for this done. They just finished it. The whole house is now complete, just about. There's a few minor things I need to do. One of them is stick a Remax sound in the front yard. Get the fuck up out of here. Amazingly, there's a house that just hit the market right around the corner from me, and under contract, $1.8 million, and my house is bigger. I said, wait a minute. That house hit the market at $1.8 million and went under contract. I said, whoa. People are still buying these houses. They still buying them. I'm waiting to see if that one closed for $1.8 million. I had no clue. My house is bigger and nicer than $1.8 million. But I need to look at that kitchen again. That $1.8 million, because I was showing it to Earl. He was like, where is this house? Right around the corner. I said, whoa. And they don't even have a pool at that house. And it went under contract in a few days after the listing. Because I originally saw the listing, didn't pay much attention. It caught my eye. I went back and looked last night and said under contract. So there are a couple of houses over in this neighborhood that are under contract, and they're all upwards of $1 million. Quite a few of them. I'm like, damn, these houses, people buying this shit. People still buying these houses, these expensive houses. And I got a good deal on this one. Now it's time for me to cash in, I guess. I go stay in that damn. I go to Holiday Inn right behind it and have all this furniture. I'm out. Wishful thinking. I don't think I'm going to sell this house anytime soon. I got a cheap payment on this house. And I did rent out the basement, so that makes things a lot easier over here, too. Just got to get these electrical bills under control. This shit is high. $675. I don't think we're going to be able to get this under control until this fall. Just have to ride it out. Got a couple more hot months. This has been probably the hottest summer on record. And if you think you're going to sit up in this house with that air on, try it. I tried. I said, oh, shit, this air. You can turn that air on. I had to go over there and turn it on. That was a good thing. Like 82. I was like, God damn. And it is what it is. I got myself into this. But it's nice to know that a house just went under contract for $1.8 million. I say, how goody. I was like, yes, when it closed. But anyway, these damn houses, I don't even know what to say. Invest in real estate if you got the heart for it. It ain't for everybody, because dealing with these workers and shit. And actually, as I'm doing this video, I'm looking at workers running around his house finishing up a few things. Anyway, today is Friday. It's July 29th. The year is 2022. I thought the story kind of saddened me. It wasn't the video I was going to do to talk about today, but I saw it. I just kept seeing these news reports about this woman getting stabbed to death, and she was pregnant with those 3 beautiful kids that she had. And I just thought, oh my God, this is tragic. This is horrible. Sometimes we think our lives are bad, and you look around and say, maybe our lives ain't that bad. I'm just over here trying to get Georgia Power, looking at a high electrical bill, $675. I saw that bill pop up. I said, oh, here we go. but you got to cool off this house. And if I can be able to sit up in this damn house with no air conditioning, it ain't happening. It's too damn hot. And this sunroom, I sit in with these skylights. I ordered some shades for the skylights, and they're still back ordered for some reason, so they might not be here for a while. Yeah, but this story kind of saddened me a little bit. How vicious people can be. And there was a story a few years back about this guy who killed his own baby. He kidnapped the woman, the baby, from mine is in Spalding County. It kind of struck me. He took the baby from his baby's mama. It was his child. When the police called up to him, he took the baby and started beating it on the ground, and killing. This boy was like 19, 20 years of age or something. And he was so angry with the baby's mama, for whatever reasons, he killed that baby. And I remember this horrible event taking place, and the police didn't want to shoot him because they were trying to save the baby, and he was taking the baby and beating it on the ground, and it just was horrible. I thought to myself, these niggas are insane. Another incident a few years ago, I reported about a man who was put on child support. He went to the woman's house, and I saw that video. I actually did a YouTube video about this. It's in Maryland, D.C. area. He went over there and shot and killed the mother, and then shot the baby in the car, his own child. Shot and killed her too. And he didn't commit suicide. They arrested his ass. He went to work. Shot her and shot the baby and went to work because he didn't want to pay child support. Like, what is wrong with these niggas? Y'all better be very careful who y'all get mad. They say a black woman is killed every 5 seconds by a black man. For every 5.5 seconds, it's something, maybe 5 minutes or something. Maybe it's 5 minutes, every 5 minutes. Including in this video, there's a white woman who was killed by this man. These niggas is crazy. Something ain't right here. You know, something just horrible. This is just a horrible situation. But anyway, it's about 10:30 in the morning. Normally I try to get these videos done by this time. And there's another video I want to talk about too. I might be able to get it done today. We'll see. I gotta make some phone calls. But anyway, I'm out of here today. It's Friday, July 29th. Another hot day in Georgia. It's supposed to be 100 degrees today or something outrageous. And I'm out of here in Georgia. I look forward to reading y'all's comments on this particular situation. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your Friday.